There's no reason why the Nigerian army should not defeat the Boko Haram terrorists if well supported. Now, this is coming from the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai. He was speaking during a visit to the newly deployed troops of the 29 Task Force Brigade at Beneshik and Gamdu towns in Kaga local government areas of Borno State, northeast Nigeria. The Army Chief noted that the deployment of the troops to the area is strategic to the success of the operation against the insurgents, asking them to be alert and well-focused.
Deployment here will further determine the overall outcome of the operation against the Boko Haram terrorists. So I want you to remain on the alert at all times. Make sure you observe all the routines in the various locations you have or you are deployed. I have said it before, we are better trained and better equipped than those criminals. We must apply our tactics. We must apply the necessary battle procedures and indeed the necessary battle discipline and of course fire discipline. These are very, very important to success of this operation.
Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai. Meanwhile, the governors in the northwest region have begun to deploy strategies to stop Boko Haram infiltrating their region. After a closed-door meeting, the governor of Katsina State, Aminu Masari, said that he and his colleagues cannot stand by and watch the terrorists continue to attack their people. Now, the meeting also deliberated on the activities of cattle rustlers in the Kamuku Forest, Benin Gwari local government area of Kaduna State, and the need to continue the joint security operations in the forest until the insurgents stop killing people and stealing cattle.
Niger, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, and Kaduna have made to review the progress so far with regards to the special operation that is going on in Dajin, Kamuku, Koyambana, Rugu, and whatever it is called, and within the areas, and Dajin Falgore. So we have reviewed, and fundamental in our meeting is that we have agreed that the operation should continue beyond this month, and further details to be discussed with security agencies. And we noted the infiltration from northeast and northwest, and the measures are being taken to make sure that Boko Haram does not find any safe haven in northwest or any part of the country. This Kamuku Koyambana extends from Senegal up to Central African Republic. So obviously that you can have sporadic attacks from time to time. So this has been dealt with, and we are dealing with the situation. With regards to cost, we will not know the cost until it is over.
Well, to other stories now. A coalition of non-governmental organizations and civil society groups under the Save Bielsa movement have mobilized support for Governor Seriake Dickson to mega rally held at the Peace Park in Yenagoa, the state capital. The groups gathered to endorse the candidature of Governor Dickson and canvass support for him in the upcoming elections, governorship elections in December. Now, Governor Dickson arrived at the venue amidst dancing and singing from the cheering youth. Commending the efforts of the governor, especially in the areas of peace and security, education, primary health care and job creation, the group say this necessitated their call for his re-election. Well, the People's Democratic Party in Edo State has taken a swipe on the Governor Adams Oshiomhole administration over what the party describes as anti-democratic policies of the administration. The state PDP chairman Dan Obi said this during the opening of the party's new state secretariat located along First East Circular Road in Benin City, the Edo State capital. The party listed the land use charge law, multiple taxation, the tipper driver strike, the deplorable state of roads in Benin City, amongst others, as some evidences of the failure of the APC-led government in the state. Right, we'll now go on. Right, before we do go on a break, let's take a look at some other stories. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency has been speaking about its response to an accident which occurred on the 19th of October 2015, in which two vessels allegedly collided. NIMASA says it's still conducting rescue operations for possible survivors of the accident, which left 9 people dead. The victims and their family are, however, demanding justice, insisting that NIMASA has not done enough to investigate the matter.
Officials of the Nigerian Maritime Agency, NIMASA, gathered journalists together in Lagos to debunk allegations that they were involved in some alleged sinister moves to cover up an accident. The accident occurred on Monday, 19th October at about 1 a.m. when two vessels, the MT Elixir and the MT Tank, allegedly collided.
At the time of the incident, the MT Tank was en route on a port. Radio reports received by the Maritime Rescue Coordination Center revealed that the empty tank broke into two, with the aft part, which houses the accommodation part, sinking shortly after the collision, with a total of 12 persons on board. The agency immediately, that is NIMASA, commenced coordination of such rescue efforts led by the MT Elixir, which is involved in the accident.
The owners of MT Tank are, however, not convinced that NIMASA has done enough. They say they want the police, the Navy and the Army to be enlisted for the matter to reach a thorough and conclusive end.
What we want is a thorough investigation into how this whole thing happened. And then whoever is culpable should be taken in for it. I will imagine that some people should be charged for manslaughter because people actually died. You know, it's not something that you will expect that, okay, it's all over, everybody go home and all that. People actually died. NIMASA does not have the capacity to resolve that issue, whether or not the foreign vessel should be exonerated. It has to be before the whole world in a law court.
The 3 survivors of the accident were shown to the journalists, but there are pending questions. What is the fate of these men and that of the dependents of the dead crew members? Are they entitled to any compensation? Only a quick and thorough investigation of this accident will yield answers. Shola Shoyeli, Channels Television News.
When the program returns, the Cross River State Governor proposes a 350 billion naira budget for 2016. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.